And this is one of my first memories of abuse. This happened a lot in that house. Everyone was beating everyone. My aunts would gang up on my mother and beat her, and everyone was beat my mother's ass, but she was just the worst. And my grandmother, everyone was beating everyone. There's all these women, I have all these aunts, like 7 of them, and they're all angry and hurt and bitter, and everyone's kicking everybody's ass around the house, and I'm this little girl, and I'm growing up seeing this, and this is not unusual. It's not alarming me at all. Because this is my lifestyle. This is my life. This is normal, right? This is what every family does, right? I'm 5. These are my most formative years. This is when I learned my ABCs, my 1, 2, 3s, and how to beat the blood out of somebody's face. My first day of kindergarten. My godmother was my kindergarten teacher. And my next door neighbor was the school principal. My grandmother worked for the school, so I felt a little entitled. And I used to walk around the school like I owned it. All my friends, their parents worked there. Like this group of kids that kind of owned the school. We got to stay after school when everyone left and raid the cafeteria for leftovers or, stuff like that. So kindergarten, I'm standing outside the door. And the bell has rung, and everyone's in, and the teacher's not there yet, Miss Jackson, my godmother. And I'm like, hey guys, come into class, it's time to start school. I'm like the bratty kid that thinks she owns everybody. And there was this one girl who just defied me and wouldn't get in her seat. She wouldn't even enter the door. She was like, I'm waiting out here with you. I was like, you can't wait out here with me. I own this school. What are you talking about? You can't get your ass in your seat. And she defied me. And I punched her right in the face. I blackened her. First thing I was 5 years old, and I'm blackening eyes. It starts. I did the same thing again in 5th grade to a kid named Eric. I moved to Florida. I'm from St. Thomas. So I moved to Florida. All this stuff happened in St. Thomas. So we finally moved to Florida. I'm 10 years old. And I'm in the lunch line, and I'm talking to someone. I have my thick island accent, because I'm new. I've been here a couple of weeks. And the kid behind me, name is Eric, is making fun of me. He's laughing at me because I have this accent from a place that no one had ever heard of. And I turned around, and I punched him in the fucking eye. And he had a black eye. I'm 10 years old. I'm still punching kids out in the eye. I'm still punching kids out, and we got called to the principal's office, and I threatened him. If you tell on me, poor Eric, such a 10-year-old mess. If you tell on me, I'm going to beat the shit out of you every day for the rest of the fucking school year. I'm pretty sure I said it just like that. This is Eric, a little fat kid, super cute. And I'm this little girl, but I'm so angry, I'm so embittered, and I'm so violent because it's normal, right? Because everyone lives like this, right? So Eric was so scared that I would continually beat him throughout the year that he sat in front of the principal and said it never happened. And he got in trouble. And Eric and I stayed friends the rest of the year, as long as he didn't do or say anything I didn't like. I was holding him captive in 5th grade. I threatened him, and because I was different. I wasn't like the other kids. I had all this history already. I'd already been beaten so much. My mother would beat the blood out of my face. She would open wounds. She would do all these things to me, and I had all this history, and here I was in this new country, and I didn't know anybody. And the first person I decided to talk to and open my mouth to and trying to communicate in this accent, this thick, almost, incomprehensible accent, this kid behind me now was laughing, and I threatened him to the point where I made him afraid to do anything but whatever I said. And I held him captive all year. And the next year, I remember. And the next year. And this cycle continues my whole life, except there were kids that I bullied, kids that I beat on, and there were kids who bullied and beat on me. Because it was normal for them too. See, we all spoke the same language. Because violence is a language, it's a culture, it's not just a thing that happens. And so we're all speaking the same language, and so we're all beating each other up because that's the language we speak, and I'm growing up this way. And my mother is still beating me, and I was so abused that all through my life, I wet the bed. I wet the bed. I just remember this as I'm talking to you. I wet the bed half of my life. And my mother would make fun of me, and she'd make me feel really bad about it, and I couldn't stop doing it. And I couldn't have friends over, and I couldn't have a normal life because I was this kid who wet the bed. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I'm still wet in the fucking bed. And I'm the pariah of my house, and my mother treats me so badly that on Christmas morning, one year, I wake up and I can hear my little sisters tearing away at Christmas gifts. And I was so excited because it's fucking Christmas and I'm 12, so this is a huge deal. And I'm running outside to the Christmas tree and my sisters are tearing away at things, paper everywhere. My mother is taking pictures and no one even woke me up for Christmas. That's cool. So I'm there and I'm looking for my gifts and I'm looking and I'm moving things and I'm looking and there are no gifts for me under the tree. I'm 12. I don't have any gifts under the tree. They didn't even fucking wake me for Christmas. The abuse transcended the beatings. It was more than the punch in the mouth that loosened that one tooth that we had to go to the dentist and put back in. And it was more than the bruises. And then her telling my school that I was on drugs and those bruises came from me being out doing drugs with my friends that I didn't have. So I didn't have friends. I wasn't allowed to have friends. Nobody could come over. Nobody could. I was this kid that wet the bed. I was this kid that didn't get Christmas gifts. I was this kid who got beat on every single day at my house. And at 13 years old, my mother did something miraculous.